Shaka Khan, Betty Davis, Lynn Collins, iconic funk divas synonymous with the genre. Now, someone who I think is often left out of this conversation is the Marva Whitney. She was a James Brown protege, and she worked and toured with the band in the late 1960s. James Brown called her Soul Sister #1, and she worked with the band for about 30 months, from the spring of 1967 to December of 1969. Like many greats, she started in the church. She started singing with her brothers, making gospel music as the Manning Singers, after just joining the Whitney Singers, also a gospel group. She then left gospel and joined a group called Tommy and the Derbies, who would open for acts like Dionne Warwick and Johnny Watson. In the spring of 1967, James Brown was in town and she scored an audition for the JBs. During her audition, she impressed the musical director of the band, Alfred P.B. Ellis. James trusted his judgment and hired her on the spot. Immediately after being hired, Marva quickly learned what it was like being on the road with the hardest working man in show business. Her first tour run with the band was 31 shows in just 30 days, calling it a baptism of fire. She spoke in an interview about how action-packed and stressful it was touring with the JBs. It was never easy working with James Brown. She equates her 30-month stint with JB akin to being in the army. Everything was strict and to the letter. Punctuality, precision, and presentation were paramount if the James Brown organization was to function efficiently. If, for example, Brown or one of his many eagle-eyed enforcers noticed the smallest of wrinkles in Marva's clothing, she would have part of her pay docked as a fine. On one occasion, she was fined $75 for a crease on her stage dress. James also wasn't the easiest to work with. Now, Marva and James were in a brief romantic relationship, and James did have a notoriously short temper, especially with women. Marva once had to perform a show with a big bruise on her head after being hit by Brown, because she allowed another man to call her by her name instead of Miss Whitney. You could never tell what he would be like one moment to the next. Everyone was scared to death of him. He'd be nice one minute, but the flip of a dime, he'd be really mean. He'd make you feel like a queen one moment, and then garbage the next. Despite being overworked and having to deal with James Brown's temper and domestic violence, Marva Whitney enjoyed a lot of success while with the JBs. Being James's protege made a couple things. It means that she was a featured vocalist while on the tour. During concerts, she would perform a small set while James took a break. And she also recorded an album with James in 1969. James fully produced this album and he helped write many of the songs as well. And this album was extremely successful. The song It's My Thing on this album became a top 20 hit. It's a bit of a response to the Isley Brothers track It's Your Thing.
It's my thing. I can do what I want to do.
This album was a match made in heaven. The JBs were on fire in '69. Marva's voice is extremely powerful, and she stakes her claim as one of the most powerful divas music has ever produced. Now, along with all of this album has stood the test of time. The track Unwind Yourself holds one of the most iconic hip-hop samples of all time.
Just